Presenting the Sun Tracker version 3. Welcome everyone. Basically, Cooper here is inspecting the fine craftsmanship of Solar Tracker version 3. So basically what I have here is the hula hoop with the times starting at, I got solar noon up at the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 p.m. midnight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 noon. So how this works, very simple. You've got markings on here. This all assembles using just the rods that are drilled into the blocks at top and bottom, and some holes drilled into the hula hoop. This all just holds together just by tension. So all these pieces come apart. You get 8 short rods, the long center rod, 2 blocks, and the hula hoop comes apart in 8 pieces. Very easy to fit into travel luggage. So you can take this anywhere you want. This stick is a little short because I made it short enough to fit into my carry-on bag. So I shortened it quite a bit, but which may be a little problem in lower equator and lower latitudes, but we'll see. So I've got 2 markings. I got south of the equator and date markings. I've got north of the equator and date markings. North of the equator it says bottom points south, north points north. So if I take the north of the equator and point south, which I happen to know is approximately 45 degrees to my yard, but it's very easy to take an iPhone map, turn it, to orient to your landscape, and then your phone is pointed exactly north. So you're not relying on the compass per se, or internal compass, but you're actually looking at a map and nailing it. And this is the ball at nominal position, and so it's cut halfway right down the middle. You can kind of adjust the tension on the 2 blocks. You can kind of slide them up and down a little bit to adjust the tension and get that ball nice and centered when you're at nominal position of the date markings. So again, north of equator towards the south. So what latitude are you at? If you're at the North Pole, this goes straight up and down. If you're 80 degrees off the pole, it gets tilted 10 degrees, etc., etc. So the angle that you make to the ground is your latitude. I am at 39 degrees latitude. There is a nice 39 degrees right there on my protractor, and I can actually almost lie this down in the ground and set it to the right angle. So solar noon, high noon. That solar noon is the point when the sun is the highest, which is always facing either directly south, in my case, because I'm in the northern hemisphere, north of the equator. It'll be to the north if you are in the south of the equator. And now I'm going to lie down here and get this angle just about right. Da-da-da. Hello, Berkeley. Berkeley is also checking out the gear. Okay, so I'm so low that my stick is too short. That's very sad, isn't it? Let me see, wait, this is not right. Let me get this right. 10, 20, 30, 39. Okay, I had it a little misset. That's 39 degrees. So, oh, you know what? Okay, just about got it right. Actually, I can put it on the ground a little bit. So laying on the ground, I can push it in a little bit until there's the 39 degrees. Okay, now the dates here, markings. Right here is at winter solstice. I'm sorry, no, this is at equinox when you're at the center. And then there's dates going up to winter solstice, and then dates going back down. And these are marked at 4, 8, 12, 16, 19, 22, 23 and a half degrees sun declination. That is to say, and when it's all the way at 23 degrees, the sun would be at the Tropic of Capricorn, south of the equator. When it's the other way down, 23 degrees, that would be when the sun is at the Tropic of Cancer, north of the equator. And the degrees, when I talk about this being 4, 8, 12, etc., that's the degrees from the hula hoop to the ball. So in the plane of the hula hoop to up here. So if I set this to 23 degrees, let's see, 23 degrees, and it was right at the hula hoop, then this would point directly to the point up here where the top of the ball would be. Because the ball has a certain diameter, this would be pointing at where the middle of the ball would be, which would be about right here, which you see that difference is about the height of the ball. So the math all works out, just simple tangent trigonometry calculation. Now back to our latitude, 39 degrees. Well, actually I already set this. I got the height of this. Now here is the dates of the solstice, and then at 4 degrees, that's on October 3rd. 8 degrees is October 13th. Keep us safe, Cooper. October 28th at 12 degrees. November 5th, which is today, at 16 degrees. Happy Election Day. We'll see how that turns out. So I'm going to move this all the way up to November 5th. Now, what I do know about this is that the sun is going to move in accordance to basically how it follows this arc. So, because it's following the arc, and I've got this pointed directly south, high noon, check my angle. My angle's still set. 10, 20, 30, 40, and back off one. The angle is set very well. Then the ball should be cutting the shadow of the hoop should always cut the ball in half. And as I'm looking at it from this angle, probably from your angle too, that shadow is right across the center of that ball. That means the sun tracker is accurately predicting and tracking where the sun will be. Now there's one more feature here. You can take your finger, take a pen, whatever, and you can put it at a time marking such as solar noon. Or I can put it at 1 o'clock. Or I can put it at 2 o'clock. Ah, look at that. See that shadow there? From your view, I'm not sure if you can. I'm going to move the camera around a little bit. So the camera, so you can see, there's solar noon right there. That's straight up and down. I'm pointing straight south in my case. And I'm at 39 degrees angle from the ground, level ground, to the stick. And the ball is getting cut in half from the view of the hoop. It's a little bit off, but I haven't quite got my angle exactly right, or the exact south could be off a little bit if I measure that more precisely. But that's actually pretty darn good. So now what can I do? I can take my finger and move it along the clock. When you get an X on your center ball, then I'm trying to figure out a way where I can both film it and show you at the same time. Get an X down the center, then where is my hand? It's at 1:30, maybe a little past 1:30. That means solar time is about 1:40, I'm going to say, between 1 and 2 o'clock. If I've got my solar noon at the top, which I do, then this creates that. There's a nice X, let's see. Then the time is 1:40 p.m. So you could actually use this to back calculate where are you, what time of year is it, at least one of two different dates, if you know what hemisphere you're in, are you north or south of the equator, and be able to go to know what time it is in terms of solar noon. So I'm going to grab some screenshots from the solar watch app that will show the solar time and see if it is close to 1:40 p.m. Solar time, and if so, that is a very nice demonstration here of how this works. I'm going to be taking this to Paris, to Brussels, and to Iceland, all the way to 60 degrees north in the next 2 weeks, and we'll see how it works there, if it is consistent. the ball will slightly creep up a little bit as the time goes on, and then the angle of the stick will change to higher angles for higher latitudes, and we'll see if it continues to work and show the sun's position throughout the day. So the nice point about this also is that from the perspective of the ball, you can look out level to the horizon and say, okay, level, the sun rises about 7 something, exactly in that direction. The sun will track throughout the day along the hoop. When it gets level again, it'll set about 1650, which I'm going to say, 4:35, before 5 o'clock or so, I think. The sun will set, whereas it rises before, sometime after 7, sometime before 8, going level this direction. And there you have it, the Simple Sun Tracker by Bert Pasquale, version 3, November 5th, 2024, which should be a fun day. I should have been on the plane already, but the plane broke, and so I'm delayed, flying out later. Cheers!